Hey, Dana here, Dana Michelle Healing. So, a couple weeks ago, my family and I drove to Kentucky to pick up our new puppy. Here she is. Her name is Jewel, and she is an Italian Greyhound. And I just love her so much. She is so sweet and so cuddly. You can see she's been sitting here laying with me while I'm meditating. And it's been stressful though. I am new to puppy ownership. I had a dog in my childhood, but he passed away by the time I was 6 years old, so I was very, very young, and I've only ever had cats since then. Um, so the experience of surviving puppyhood is new to me, and all of the training that's involved in taking care of a dog that does not happen when you have a cat. Cats are very easy to train. So anyway, getting to the point, this morning I asked on advice in working with my puppy Jewel because we have been having a few days where it's been stressing me out, and I'm not used to being stressed out. I'm a very calm, very centered person naturally and normally. So that is what I asked for this morning, and so far this is what's come up for me. And I'll just show you the deck that I'm working with is the Light Seers Tarot, and the Page of Pentacles came up for me. And I was going to shuffle, and this is a card that just came out of the deck. And as I've spoken about before, when a card just flips out of the deck, even when you're just handling the deck, it definitely has a message for you. So I want to look at this card, and I want to talk about the things that come to my mind when I see a card like that within the context of my question. So again, my question, or what I asked of Spirit, was advice on working with my puppy Jewel, please. And so the Page of Pentacles flipped out at me, and when I saw this, immediately some things that came to my mind were remain calm and centered, stand your ground, find peace. And those are just a few of the ideas that came up for me with this card. I'm going to pause the video so I can shuffle and see what else comes up. So give me just a moment, bear with me. So the next card that came up for me was the Seven of Cups, and you can see my pages there, and then my pile of cards, and the Seven of Cups is the one that flipped up. So when I'm seeing the Seven of Cups, this has been a lot of guessing work, because for me, I don't know what's going to work. I don't know what's going to work with this particular dog, and I really don't know what's going to work with dogs at all. So I've been on YouTube trying to get advice on training, trying to do everything I can, buying different equipment to help her, restricting her, giving her some freedom, taking her out a lot, getting her to nap a lot, and doing all of this work. We're even going to a puppy class later this week. And so here it's been, I'm seeing reflected in my cards that there's been a lot of guesswork in what's happening with my experience as my first time dealing with a puppy. Like, I'm not sure what's going to work for us, and so I'm kind of just feeling things out and trying to navigate it. This next card that came up is kind of funny because it has been a little bit of a headache for me in trying to establish any kind of routine with my new puppy and trying to figure out our style of communication. I've never in my life prayed more to be an animal psychic than this moment right now. I'm like, please, 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 just let this dog's voice come through to me so I know what her needs are, etc., etc., etc. But it's definitely been challenging for me, and we can see that reflected in this card here. And then some other cards that came up, that flipped up here when I shuffled. The Tower. We're having some accidents. At first it wasn't horrible, and yesterday there were a lot of accidents, and by accidents I mean potty accidents, and that has definitely taken its toll on me and caused more chaos in my life than what I'm used to. It takes a lot longer to get the things done that I need to get done, and so we see the headache and the chaos reflected in these cards. And this is just the Spirit acknowledging what I am going through, saying, hey, we see you, we know what's happening right now, we know that this is affecting you, and we are here to support you. So they're using the tarot to reflect that they see what's happening in my life. All right, and then the next card that came up with this is also in this particular deck. It's called Death and Rebirth, because there's always a regeneration. When death is just a transformation into something new. So when I see this card in the context of advice on working with my puppy, I am feeling that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And you can see how the cloak here looks like a tunnel, and we see the light inside there. So I'm feeling with this card that we can definitely see there's a bright side to this, and I'm going to get through this. And not all hope is lost, even though sometimes I feel like that. Like I said, I'm over here like, please help me. I need so much help in this, you know? And so this is just a card that is enforcing that I need to stay positive. I need to keep moving in this direction, staying calm, keeping centered, and also standing my ground, being firm, like back here with this card again. Standing my ground and making sure that I am firm and consistent, and etc., etc., etc. So as you can see, when new cards come up in your reading, it might give dimension to the cards that you've seen before. And then we have this card, which I feel is going to be the last card of our reading, and it's the Page of Wands. And with this Page of Wands, I'm seeing someone who is skilled at training. I feel like we're going to get the flow of things. I see this here, it's flow. I see this wand here. For me, that's like a training baton. And I'm just seeing a lot of joy in this card. And I feel like that is conveying that we will get through this, we will get into our flow, and we will be able to move forward in a positive and successful way. And we're going to find a lot of joy in this journey together, Jewel and I. And this is definitely a bright note to end this reading on, because it's something I want to see. It's something I feel very hopeful about. I've wanted this puppy dog for a long time, ever since I saw a little Italian Greyhound 8 years ago in the hallway of a building my daughter and I were living in. I just fell in love. So I'm very grateful to have one of my own, and I'm going to show you her again. She's here sleeping still with me while I'm doing my tarot reading. They are little cuddly lap dogs. except when they're causing chaos and peeing or pooping all over your house. So thank you so much for tuning in and joining me on this reading. I hope that you took something, learned something from seeing how I put the cards together and how I read the cards as they apply to situations going on in my life. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Have a great day. Bye-bye.